a Playlyst original.
Welcome to the Pilot Podcast,
where we review the pilot episodes of TV shows to answer your question, should I watch this?
My name is BJ.
And my name is Mitu.
And this week, we're recapping our favorite shows of 2024.
Happy New Year. Let's get into it.
So what category should we start with, Mitu?
Let's start with one for the whole family, with our favorite family shows.
Ooh, what's at the top of your list?
Selenators Unite. For me, it is Wizards Beyond Waverly Place. I thought it was so fun, and even as someone who did not watch Wizards of Waverly Place, it felt like a Raven's Home, which I think is the gold standard, where it was really funny and fun to follow, even if you don't have the full context of the show.
Wholeheartedly agree, and I think on the theme of new iterations of a franchise, I loved Tales of the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, followed up from the movie, beautiful animation, and very impressive action scenes.
Yes, truly on the edge of my seat throughout that whole season. More action in Avatar: The Last Airbender. Avatar Hive, I'm so sorry that I was not with you when I should have been with you, because now I've gone back and I've started the animated show, which everyone has contacted me and told me that's a lot better and really good. But the live action show is fabulous.
I'm glad that someone was able to convince you to get into Avatar, even if it was Netflix and not your friends and family. But it's okay. Netflix has great programming like Pokemon Concierge, such a chill, calm, and cute toy-like environment made into a show. Beautiful.
It was very relaxing.
And you wanted to reach in and touch the Pokemon.
That's true. What's our next category?
My favorite, we're talking about sci-fi and fantasy shows.
Nerd alert.
Ouch. Jabbing me with the arrow at the start of the year. But that's not going to stop me from talking about Star Wars Skeleton Crew. It actually has not wrapped yet, but I know we're all watching week to week as Jude Law is bringing some kids around space. And it is everything I wanted in a Star Wars show. And no Skywalkers.
Intriguing. I also really loved Agatha All Along. I think you were also tuned in every week for that one.
Mm-hmm.
Really strong pilot episode. And I immediately cared about what that witch was getting into.
And she got into a lot.
Mm-hmm.
Just like X-Men and X-Men 97 with friend of the podcast, JP Carliak, voicing Morph. It is so cool how they revived this show and kept the same animation style and literally picked up where it left off.
And then I think Club Chalamet will be really pleased with your other favorite sci-fi fantasy.
Dune Prophecy, which I don't know why it's not your favorite, but that was a great miniseries. You don't even need to watch the movies to enjoy it. And I'm so excited it got renewed for a second season.
Shout out to Dune Hive, the most patient people I know.
That's true.
Because y'all be sitting through hours and hours, big books, big movies, big waits in between all of these things.
We just have a lot of self-control.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, what's next?
A category that you secretly love, our favorite reality television shows. And I will kick it off with The Secret Lives of Mormon Wives. This show blew my mind. The first episode was so jarring that I had to just sit with it for a while before we could even talk about it. It is very compelling TV, but I do stand by my review that if you're a sensitive baby watcher like me, it's not one you can marathon. I took a month or two to watch the whole thing.
But it was worth it.
Very compelling TV.
Just like K-pop idols, this documentary covers a few different K-pop groups, and it's a lot more honest than I was expecting the K-pop industry to be.
Yes.
Maybe because it's an American documentary. But if you want to learn more about what it takes to be an idol, check it out.
And then you and I both fell in love with Owning Manhattan.
Also renewed for season 2. We are ready. More real estate.
Shout out Ryan. Shout out the crew. Really happy for everybody.
Hope y'all
Really
make more
happy.
millions.
I've never rooted for wealth like this, but I just want more and more of this show. It was so good. It was messy, but also it's clear that a lot of these people are real estate agents versus some other shows you and I have reviewed where it's definitely models from Central Casting who just pose next to empty homes that are for sale.
Exactly. But you know, a show that's not posing, that's not models, that's not Central Casting.
Get into one of our favorite shows of 2024, actually.
Yeah, this truly is the best of 2024, and that is Deal or No Deal Island. Boston Rob has 2 new fans, 2 new super fans.
Yes. Emphasis on super.
I know, guys, it sounds wild. Why are they playing Deal or No Deal on a tropical island? Just go with it.
Yes, go with the flow. Is it Survivor? Is it Deal or No Deal? Is it kind of Big Brother with the social game? And the answer is yes and.
Yeah, that's all you need and more. And the cast was great for season 1. Slight spoiler, the cast for season 2 already seems great.
Deal or No Deal Island was such compelling television that I rooted for a white man to win a show. Typically, when I watch a reality show, and I'm sure a lot of people do this, I'm rooting for the Black contestants. I'm rooting for women. I'm rooting for basically like who would likely benefit most from the prize. And yet when Boston Rob came on the scene, as dastardly as he was, I was like, this is a man who deserves to win this season immediately.
Yeah. He taught me what it means to be good at reality TV shows, competitions. Like, he has the strategy. He has the mindset. He's forming alliances. Honestly, I don't want to give too much away of what he does, but it was great.
This is an audio medium and not a visual medium. Y'all need to understand, BJ and I have big smiles on our faces talking about Boston Rob.
We're so happy.
We love that man, and we love this show. But taking things in a different direction, what's our next category, BJ?
Instead of reality, we're going to scripted things in the drama category. And we're opening up with a revival reboot in Matlock.
A totally new telling of that show starring Kathy Bates. I loved this. This, to me, is some of the best of what CBS can offer, meaning legal drama, kind of feeling like a procedural, but interesting. Each episode, each case of the week is very compelling, and yet the larger story is also really what sucks you in. You want to know what Maddie is about to do next.
And it's fun how the original Matlock is a show within this show.
Yes, she is not Matlock of the Andy Griffith variety.
Which we can't replace him, so it makes sense.
Exactly. And then another woman doing big things, high potential. Love that show.
Amazing street smarts, real smarts, book smarts, and a mom.
And Caitlin Olsen is just really funny.
She is. She's charming, and you root for her.
And then the next literal 3 shows that I added can be considered comedies. I think are categorized as comedies, but to me, they were so dramatic that
they're serious.
They felt more like dramas. In the dramedy, to me, they all leaned more drama, despite big laughs for all of them. And that's How to Die Alone, Natasha Rothwell's story, Queenie, and then Diara from Detroit.
All 3 women that you just want better for.
Yes. Very, very funny shows, but all had such sad core stories. For How to Die Alone, our protagonist finds herself in a near-death situation, reevaluates her whole life, and Queenie, our protagonist, can't make a good decision to save her life. Does not know how to choose the right man, job, approach, just fully making wild decisions. And then in Diara from Detroit, similarly, we have a freshly divorced woman. Again, a really, really funny show. But for some reason...
in mess.
Yes, fully wrapped up in mess, goes on this nearly deadly hunt for this man that she barely knows to see what happened to him if he was kidnapped. And so in all 3 of these shows, they're all billed as comedies, but they're really, really, really good television, very compelling. Just, I categorize them as dramas because they were, to me, more of the drama side of a dramedy.
I agree, especially with the story. It's so dramatic, serious, and also relatable. Well, How to Die Alone is very relatable.
Yes. Queenie, I'm sorry. Even at under 25, I was not making decisions that reckless, but my love to the reckless community, reckless hive,
There
you
are
have my
reckless
respect.
people. That is real.
Yes.
We recognize that.
And then DR from Detroit, again, very funny. Not relatable, though. I will never find myself kind of plotting my own true crime journey.
That's also a bold choice. But we see some of the relatable aspects to the struggles they're going through in their personal lives. And it is nice that they throw in some comedy. Otherwise, it would be too heavy.
100%, because ultimately it's a kidnapped person or a person who is facing dying alone, which is her own nightmare, or a person who is making wildly destructive choices in her personal life and professional life.
You chose some interesting shows.
And then the last one for me here, again, another dramedy, also gone but not forgotten, is The Brother's Son on Netflix. Truly do not understand Netflix why y'all canceled that. Y'all really we have beef. You see me on the street, cross to the other side.
Not beat the show. Ha 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 ha.
Which got another season, but The Brother's Son didn't. And The Brother's Son was just so good. Such a good action dramedy. We have a really compelling story of these brothers taking up for their crime family when their father is incapacitated. And then we have Michelle Yeoh there just being a gorgeous action star.
Great concept. I love the family secrets that are being unveiled and everyone navigating expectations. That's a big theme in that show.
Yes.
Okay, now we'll go to another section that I think you wholeheartedly love.
Comedy. My favorite comedies of 2024. I will say our favorite comedies.
Yeah.
I think some of these you loved. I know that smiling, baring your teeth, feeling mirth, joy.
This is how we're starting the new year.
Witnessing that light in children's eyes when they open Christmas presents. Things like that, you're a little sour on, and that's okay.
Sour. Okay.
But for me, I love laughter. I love smiling. Right. I love that feeling that you get when you give a child in your life the best gift that they wanted, that kind of happiness.
I don't know that. Okay.
Smiling from the inside out is what those of us who enjoy that's what we call it.
Those of us, yeah.
So, on this side of that, my favorite comedies.
I'm not on that side.
Well, you are for a couple of these.
Okay.
The first one, though, A Man on the Inside. Ted Danson, come to the front. I love you, sir. Thank you so much for just being such an active part of my life, helping to raise me and guide me through several decades of television and movies. This was such a lovely show of him being a mole for an investigator in a retirement home to understand if there's theft or crime happening. And then it just becomes very charming as he befriends everyone in the home. And he, of course, as part of this show, it's a Michael Schur show, learns more about himself, learns more about his loved ones. It makes you smile as you watch it. Even just...
As Ted Danson does.
Yes, exactly.
Then we have St. Denis Medical. This is Superstore in a hospital setting.
Yes. From the same creators.
Literally. They said, what if we just did Superstore again with some cast members from Superstore, but set it in the ER? And it's funny. You have a nice variety of cast members. You have some incompetent people, new people. And you also see the stress of working in this type of environment. Those hours, the people you have to deal with, specifically the patients that you're trying to help who aren't making it easy to help them. It's a lot, and it's fun to watch.
Very fun. And then we have The Pradeeps of Pittsburgh, which I really enjoyed. That's on Prime Video. I know you were also really intrigued by that first episode because what was fun about it is It's a fish out of water comedy of this family landing in Pittsburgh from India and understanding what their environment is now and kind of reluctantly being in this new place.
Yeah.
But then there's this big mystery because the show is set up where they're telling the story through interviews with some kind of caseworker, FBI officer, something. And so you're like, what did they do? Why are we learning this story through these interviews? And that is what also makes it really compelling. Like, you're very intrigued to understand what happened to this family.
Yeah. And you get a lot
what did they do, if they did anything?
You get a lot of comedy because each family member gives their own version of what's happened.
Yes.
And so you're piecing together what overlaps between their stories. Why are they disagreeing about how someone behaved?
Especially the difference between the parents and the kids.
Mm-hmm.
It's very funny.
Next, we have a show that I know you really loved. I enjoyed it as well. Act Your Age. We got some greats, Kim Whitley, Tisha Campbell, and Yvette Nicole Brown. Friends coming together, supporting each other. Your favorite theme. And it was just a fun, straightforward sitcom. We don't get enough of this type of show.
Exactly. I sit before you as a young woman in a sweater adorned with all 4 Golden Girls on it.
It's true.
It is my coziest sweater. And that is how I felt watching Act Your Age. We need more comedies where it's women sitting around chatting. We have that with Golden Girls, Living Single, even Sex and the City as an edgier version of that. I love the genre of comedy, which is women chatting, and Act Your Age very much sits in that genre, but with such funny, sharp comedians. So it's fun and light and cheesy, but also really well acted comedy, especially Tisha Campbell.
I will add, I like that you mentioned it is cheesy, but it's cheesy in the fun way.
Yes.
Okay, Mitu, this last comedy, which is your favorite of the year, I actually didn't like that much.
Yeah, we differ here. I loved Elsbeth.
She's so Elspeth.
She is. And that's why I like it. That's why my smile turned up and your frown is turned down. Because you just have to understand that this kooky lady with fabulous clothes is out here being kooky. And if you can get with that and watching these Columbo-style crime episodes, you just get to lean into the fun. And what I like about it is that Columbo style, which I think for a lot of people, myself included, can get old.
Mm-hmm.
But the way that they make it fun, and to explain what Columbo style means, meaning you know who done it right at the beginning. You watch the person do the crime, and then the fun of the episode is the cat and mouse between them and Elspeth, because they always underestimate her or don't understand her because she's this very odd woman who's asking them a lot of questions, and before they know it, they're fully imprisoned. And the way
every
that she gets them every time, 100%. The way that they make it fun is they bring on these funky guest stars. So you have Retta and Keegan-Michael Key and Blair Underwood and Nathan Lane, like doing bad things and being bad people on camera, and then watching them do this back and forth with Elsbeth until she figures them out. I think my favorite one was actually Jane Krakowski. She was so funny doing crime.
I see why you love the show.
Thank you.
You are the target audience.
100%.
Let's wrap up the best shows of 2024 with some of our surprise hits. These are shows that aren't all new, but are new to us, and they really landed.
Yes. One of them for me was The Madness. Even when we reviewed it, I remember saying something to the effect of, I'm not sure if this is like the best show, but he just makes such wild decisions in this show about a man who is clearly being framed for a crime.
Mm-hmm.
And he's supposed to be smart, a professor at UPenn, a talking head on MSNBC or a similar network.
Allegedly.
Like, he's supposed to be this clever guy, and yet
he went to the Poconos.
At every turn, he makes these decisions that you're just like, huh. And that is what had me watch it for the whole season. My partner and I downloaded this before a long flight And so all you heard if you were in the rows in front of us or behind us was just, why? Or, like it's just a lot of that, watching him navigate this very scary thing.
I'm happy you two had that experience.
Thank you.
And I'm happy that one of our listeners recommended Teen Wolf, the MTV show from back in the day. It was a lot better than I expected. I don't know why I had like a negative view of the show without ever watching it.
Me too.
But Dylan O'Brien, I get why this kickstarted your career.
100%. Teen Wolf was one where I was a bit reluctant to watch it because I was like, clearly this is a show that people watched at 13 years old because the two leads were hot. Like, I think either 18-year-olds or younger. I think they were close
younger,
in age to the viewer.
Mm-hmm.
And so you were watching attractive boys do really strong and scary things, and maybe that's what you were into. But no, it was really compelling TV.
Like, there's an elaborate story, there's lore behind everything, there's
Yes.
mysteries. I get why it had multiple seasons and a movie. Like,
I kept watching.
yeah. There you go. Sometimes even we experienced TV watchers underestimate and underappreciate popular series, and then we have to come back and admit, y'all were right.
Y'all were right, because y'all actually been asking us to watch Teen Wolf, and we just kept putting it off. Another one, not that I expected to not like it, but one that we've received from lots of the nerds out there is Gravity Falls. A delightful cartoon.
Really good. I remember people recommended this to me about when I was in Adventure Time as another fun animated series with good lore and mysteries. But I wrote it off. Maybe because it was Disney. I don't know. But so fun, so compelling, and there's so much story. Like, it seems deeper than I would expect for a children's animated show.
Yes, the relationship between the siblings and their estranged grandparent, the relationship between the siblings and this town and the grandparent and the town, and then the relationship between the citizens in the town, because weird things happen in Gravity Falls. And why is that? It is so intriguing, so mysterious, but then also funny and kooky.
Mm-hmm.
It was a joy to watch. I watched that all the way through. I don't think it took me but a few weeks to finish the show after we reviewed it.
That tracks.
Yeah, when I get into something, I get into it.
So, Mitu, we've made it through our list of the best of 2024 shows. I think we both kind of already said Deal or No Deal Island was our top show, but how about we give our listeners a taste of our second best show of the year as well, so they have a little more variety.
Okay, this is hard. I would say one of these that I really recommend that I think is being slept on is Diara from Detroit, because it's on BET Plus, and not a lot of people are on BET Plus, but it's so good. It's so funny. And I think if you even got like a free trial for the app, just do that, watch the show, and then let the trial end if you don't want to keep the subscription.
I think that's a solid recommendation. Give it a try. Use that trial to check it out.
Yes.
And maybe you'll stick around for other BET Plus shows.
True.
I am going to give my vote to... It's really tough. I'm going to give an honorary mention to Agatha All Along, but Dune Prophecy won me over, came in at the end of the year. Solid sci-fi series. And really, guys, if you haven't seen the Dune movies, it's okay. Just give this show a chance.
Give Dune a chance. And then one we didn't review, but just popped into my brain because I was talking to a friend about it last night, is we just missed reviewing English Teacher on FX on Hulu.
Oh, yeah.
One of the best comedies of 2024, easily.
Someone just told me about that yesterday.
Y'all need to go watch that.
Well, thank you for listening to our Best of 2024. We are sure to be watching excellent shows throughout 2025, and you can keep up with all those reviews on our website, thepilotpodcast.com, and you can follow us on your favorite podcast platforms.
You can also follow us on social media at The Pilot Pod, and you can send thoughts, feelings, show recommendations, your favorite shows of 2024 to askthepilotpodcast@gmail.com. Thanks for listening.
Bye.